Welcome to Module 4. Now, this is the final leg of our program Resume Builder Formula, as I already told you. But you must be wondering what is left because we've covered a whole lot. Yes, we have. In fact, we've covered all of it. This module is specifically designed for you to just check, like a one final check for your resume before you finalize it and you press that send button or, apply button when you apply for a job. Also, we are going to do cover letter, which is an important component along with the resume that is sent to the employer, to the prospective employer, to create an impact and impression. So we're going to do that and some practice in this module. So welcome again. It is called Optimize for Readability. Yeah. So all the pointers where I was talking about the do's, don'ts, I was telling you how it should be simple to read, how it should be pleasant for somebody to read. So just the final checks, some do's, some don'ts, some tricks and tips for you to ensure that you are now fully ready to finally apply for that much awaited job, your dream job, and you can just go ahead and shoot your resume. All right. So let's dive in. Formatting and visual appeal, and an important component here. What does it take for your resume to look good visually, right? So first impressions, a well formatted resume creates a positive first impression. As we know, you only get one chance to make that first impression. Readability, easier for hiring managers to quickly find relevant information. Professionalism, right? It's very important for you to come across and make sure that your resume is looking professional. It reflects your attention to detail and professionalism. Use a clear and an organized layout, something which is legible, which is clear, clean, concise. When somebody looks at your resume, the first impression should be like, I want to read it. And for that, it has to look really organized, a neat and tidy layout. Ensure consistent formatting throughout. Avoid overly complex designs or excessive use of colors. We've already talked about it. It will, you cannot fear the ATS rejection. So make sure you do your best to keep it simple, keep it basic, keep it professional, right? Don't experiment too much. Don't use too much of graphs. Yeah. So formatting and visual appeal, extremely important for the synthetic, the look and feel of your resume as you send it to your employer, prospective employer, or a hiring manager. I'm going to quickly read this again. The first impression is very important. It has to be readable. It has to look professional. Make it clean, organized. Use consistent formatting throughout. Don't keep changing the font size, the colors. Don't experiment too much. Don't use overly complex designs. I hope I'm clear as far as formatting and the visual appeal is concerned. Let's move to the next slide. The font style, what is the standard practice? The professional fonts, these are the professional fonts, as you must already be knowing. You can use Arial, Calibri, Times New Roman, Helvetica. Avoid Comic Sans and or other decorative fonts. Stick to the professional fonts. The font size, the headers can be between 14 to 16 points and the body text could be 10 to 12. Consistency, use the same font size for similar modules, right? Try and use, for example, headings, keep the same fonts for all the headings. For the structures, use the same structures. If you want to bold the numbers, then you might want to use the same consistent structure to highlight all the numbers. Yeah. So these are some of the basic steps for formatting and the visual appeal. Clear sections, headings, clearly label each section, education, experience, skills. Follow an order. It's a logical order which is easy to follow, easy to scan, easy to understand, easy for the ATS to also screen through. Use bullet points for list of responsibilities, achievements. Start with action verbs and keep the points concise. I've already given you the action verbs, a PDF in the last assignment in the reading material. Use that, feel free. The plain text formatting, avoid tables, text boxes. Don't use too many images. Use the standard formatting, no matter what anybody else says. Please make sure you stick to the basics. Do not experiment too much. After all, it's the most important professional document. You don't want to take any chances. You don't want to stay out, get rejected in the ATS scanning process. Make sure you save your resume as the PDF or as the doc, depending on the application guideline. So these are some of the tricks and tips for you for improving the formatting. And of course, if you can see, formatting, look and feel, all this is coming at the fag end of this resume builder formula program. Why? Because we've actually focused so much on the right things, on the most important things, which is the process of hiring. How do you see it? How do you how do you get perceived in the industry, in the market? And then of course the structure, the templates, and most importantly the star story is the content. How do you create the effective content? Yeah, so now you know it all. This is going to be an exercise, very interesting. We are going to discuss, I'm going to show you 2 resumes. Okay, it's basically a good resume versus bad resume exercise, and I'm going to show you 2 resumes. You have to tell me which one is what. Okay, so you will decide, scan and tell me which one are you going to select and which one are you going to reject. Okay, ready? So this is one resume. Scan through, software developer. It has the summary, education, skills, web links on the left side, projects on the right side, some of the highlights been done, experience, achievements, certificates. You can read some of the achievements. Yeah, just focus on the look and feel right now. And this is another resume, resume number 2, starting with address, mobile number, email, LinkedIn, academic background, technical competencies, internship, certification, projects, achievements, and co-curriculars. So tell me which one is a good resume and which one is the bad resume. It's not a tough one, isn't it? This is a good resume, isn't it? Right? Why? Because look at the feel, look at the the fonts, look at the headings, look at the structure, organization, right? And look at this one. There is no organization. It's just written in one line. In fact, not even in one line, not justified formatting, no boundaries, no borders. Yeah, it's not. I mean, if you compare, you know what I'm talking about, isn't it? So this is the good resume versus a bad resume. And I'm not saying use this specific template, but make sure when you look at your resume, when you complete it, you are very sure that this is a good, not just good, but the best resume that you can make for yourself. And very effective, professional looking, yeah, legible, organized, with all the relevant information. Now, a few pointers for you to keep in mind. Avoid carelessness. Don't have spelling mistakes. Do spell check. You have all the tools available today. You have Grammarly, you have ChatGPT, you have whatnot. So misinterpretation, avoid it. Don't exaggerate your abilities. Don't use irrelevant stuff. Don't use fluff. Don't overkill again. Don't try too hard. I said this earlier as well. Don't use too many graphics, extra designs, excessive, verbose content. Keep it simple, keep it basic. Don't overkill. Long-windedness, not more than 2 pages, please. In fact, if you're a fresher, if you're still an early 1 to 3 years, 4 years of experience level, I will still suggest you stick to 1 page. Okay, so the brevity is the key. The shorter the better. It's easier for people to follow. It's easier to follow the structure. It's easier also for you to write, and if you have more content, of course, if you have experience, then of course not, you don't focus too much on the length, on the cost of your experience and the quality of the value in your content. Okay, but if you can, then stick to 1 pager. Avoid discrimination or over personalizing. Don't include photos. It's no more required. We also have LinkedIn profile where photos are professional platform, where photos are absolutely applicable and okay to have. So avoid discrimination. Don't over personalize. Don't use the language in first person, right? You never say I did this, not on the resume. You always use passive language. So keep these things in mind. Now, where should you start? Here. It's time to complete your resume. Congratulations. Okay, so make sure you choose a CV layout which is clear, easy to read. Compile a personal profile, a summary of main selling points, the tangible ones. Complete your career history exercise, identify your skills and achievements, assess which of your hobbies, interests and extracurricular activities to include. Keep it professional. Too many personal details, avoid. Of course, when you grow in experience, then hobbies is something you can leave aside. But if you're a fresher, you're just starting out, you might want to include it. And identify any training courses completed. right? So that brings us to the end of this session. This is where you should start, and I've given you everything that I could, everything that you need to complete your resume in a professional and a precise, clear manner, targeting your job powerfully and more confidently. So go ahead, complete your resume now, and I will see you in the next session, because before we complete, we also have cover letter to discuss, and that perhaps will be the last session of this program, Resume Builder Formula. So really enjoyed doing this one. Make sure you go through this again, note down all the information that you need, remember all these pointers, and start to finish complete your resume. I will see you in the next session. Goodbye and good luck.